All right, moving right along, we're going to get into Starve. First thing you're going to want to do is tune your E string up to D. So we're getting out of the C range, unfortunately, but D is always good too. And we're going to change the tempo up to 112 beats per minute. Now this gets a little bit tricky. You won't want to have an accent on 1 because somehow the time gets turned around. Don't ask me how, I do it all the time, and it drives Joe crazy, so sorry Joe, but it's just the way it comes out of my fingers. Anyway, let's hear what the verse sounds like really quick. Okay, here it is up to tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So you can kind of divide that into two parts. You've got just your first one that you repeat over again, the, and then it goes into the higher, faster part. All right, let's take the first part first. I'll play it a little bit more slowly. Again, I like to play this a little bit more accented so that the first note of each little bit is a little bit stronger than the open string notes that I play after that. Those are a little bit more just for rhythmic interest and aren't as important and don't hold as much weight as the first notes do. So let me exaggerate that a little bit. All right. So I'm playing those open string notes in between there, but I'm not giving it as much weight. Now again, I'm doing a little hammer on here. Kind of adds a nice little popping, you know, quick in and out note. All right. And I also add another little, like almost a grace note right before I get back into the phrase again. So instead of it's like 3 notes, but the third note is just a little bit lighter than the others. So dun, 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 like that. All right. So okay, those two phrases are pretty much the same. Then you go back into that first phrase again. Then you go up into that faster run that's up a little bit higher on the neck. I'll play it slowly. Again, the open string notes don't hold as much weight as the first notes do, so the accent on those is a little bit lighter. Okay, so fast, that sounds like this. Now, I am hitting my strings pretty hard with my fingers and with my artificial nails, and that's what's giving a little bit more of a popping sound. You can tell a difference when I'm playing it quietly and then when I'm playing it again full speed and, you know, full bore with my right hand. So if I'm playing it quieter, a little bit more muffled, but if I'm hitting it as hard as I normally do, really get that growl that I love so much that comes out of the SWR SM900 head, and of course the Rickenbacker. The chorus is really super easy, just basic quarter notes, but they're played a little bit more syncopated. So here's what that sounds like to tempo. 2, 3, 4. Sometimes I have a little trouble getting that little slide out there. Let's play that slowly then. Okay, it goes. A little bit of a slide, and then a second one after that. All right, now let's get right on into the bridge part, because that's my favorite part to play. There's two parts to it. There's a slower, more funky part as the first part, and then it speeds up a little bit more into the second part. I'll play the whole bridge for you at tempo so you can hear what the whole thing sounds like. 2, 3, 4. So let's take that a little bit slower then. Here's the slow part. And again, one thing I like to do with my right hand is add a little bit of percussion, not just with grace type notes or ghost notes, but also with just slapping the strings when they're muted. It adds a little bit more of a percussive sound to it. So if I'm not doing anything else with my hands, I might as well, you know, play percussion, right? So that's what I do in between the notes that I play here. This is what it sounds like a little bit slower. All right, so there's a little bit of a hit in between some of those notes there. And again, when I'm going up to the sliding part, which is the two top strings, as I call them, the D and the G strings, it's just a quick slide up there like that. And I play them a little bit staccato, which means muting them a little bit in between each one so that they don't ring out. So it adds a little bit more rhythmic interest there. All right, then the second part of the slow part of the bridge goes a little bit, this just pretty much the same thing that I already played. It just has a little bit of a run at the end. So again, it's again with me and my hammer-ons, okay? It's slowly, it is. All right, so when you play it fast, it sounds really cool. All right, so now let's move into the faster part of the bridge so that it picks up its tempo a little bit. Again, I've got little percussive notes going on in between that I'm playing with my right hand, so it goes just a little bit, again, the accented notes, so there's a little bit more dynamics happening there. All right, and then it pretty much repeats the same thing except for the last three notes at the end. All right, so it adds a nice little transition back into the chorus. Now let's just play everything all the way through with all of the amplifiers going so that you can hear how I go back and forth between effects. I've got the distortion on all the way through. I just bring in the Boss VF1 multi-effects unit on auto wah for just a little bit in the bridge, just to make it sound a little bit funkier. So here's how this all sounds put together. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that was Star for you, as well as Black Karma earlier. I hope you guys enjoyed this first installment in my bass lines deconstructed video. Be sure to check out our music either on iTunes or you can just watch some more videos here on YouTube of us playing the shows live, because these songs aren't anything without the drum parts that go with them. So you want to hear it all together as the whole big picture, because that's the way it sounds best. Anyhow, thanks again, and we will see you in the next installment.